truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics. The truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics.
We do welcome you back to the truth, lies, and politics, Mr. Mariche. Mr. Mariche, we do welcome you back to the Truth, Lies, and Politics. Interesting conversations in the break. And, well, we are talking about the whole conversation around the Balaalo and the eviction and the presidential directives. You know, will the Balaalo ever leave, you know, the northern region after the presidential directives have been given? And so we're still breaking this down. And in studio, I have Mr. Mariche Daniel, who is, you know, the media representatives for Northern Uganda Commercial Farmers, right, Association. I have Engineer, Engineer Oleng, and he is, you know, one of the leaders within the cultural institution, but also looks at his passion is, you know, natural, ensuring that our natural environment is natural resources are taken well care of. And I have Mr. Charles Romushana at my extreme left. And so Charles Romushana was still explaining, and we're beginning, we're adding on that part of Buganda. That's where we hinged on. Yes.
Triangle, and the bulk of the commanders were now what you call Balaalo. Actually, they've been claiming most of their cows, because the cows were... That's because you are feeding guerrillas.
Maybe you should also tell us, maybe you should also tell us, because there's also a notion on how they acquired the cows in that large number, and the aspect of cows missing from the presidential farms.
Those are minor, those are tiny things. So what tool did the National Resistance Army use, and Mr. Museveni? They conditioned now the Balaalo, but I'm using it as a description. They conditioned them to hate, and specifically to hate the Acholis.
That is the...
Say that again.
They were conditioned to hate.
When was that?
1980 to 85, that war. They were conditioned to hate, and specifically to hate the Acholis, because the Acholis were the bulk of the fighting force. The special forces of Ogore came in later, the Bateso. So by 1985, the death of Oito Joke, the Ogoro offensive, I don't know that he's still alive, Kano Maria.
Kano Maria might still be.
You look him up.
I'm not so sure.
You look him up. Kano Maria was approached by Wazirio Lokero to convince him to support the coup. And Maria told Wazirio Lokero that if they did overthrow Obote, they would make it easier for NRA to march in, and he told him the Acholis were going to die. And indeed, his prediction was very correct. I had a conversation with him when I was tracking that history. So now you've had war, and war based on vengeance. That's why there is a lot of talk of mass graves, of killings. But by the time war entered northern Uganda, NRA changed its tone. Said, no, it's no longer a war against northerners, it's not a war against this, you get, because now they were in charge of the State House, but you had very many who entered there with a lot of vengeance, and they were twofold. You had the Banyarwanda, Bingana, Bunyenyezi, the Wijemas, and the what, extremely very brutal. And then you had the, I'm using the Balaalo again for description purposes, and it became so brutal. So that's the way you're talking about. And then the insurgents later, they are very horrific stories. It's the two communities paid very heavily. The Bateso, some as prisoners were starved to death. You don't want to imagine, yes. Others were burnt in the train wagons. But there are other stories when you listen to how they used to treat prisoners, and it was extremely very terrible. I've talked to some people someone who witnessed a tank crashing protesters. So what I'm trying to say is that you had a war, but built on people who had been conditioned to hate.
All right.
The politics that followed, I was young, but I was monitoring. In our press, we would vote, we would support Mr. Museveni, and then by more than 100%. Why? Because we were saying, you put a wall to protect us from those killers. You get? But yet, Rukunjiri, where I come from, was literally 90% UPC. Yes, but it was loved. The Karekaho, who was a member of parliament for that press, is also a Balaalo, if you had to use it for description purposes. But within no minute, we had been, the hate that had been planted was so extreme that we looked at by the way, even when Sasiri Ogwar and Ronia Tiverondwa tried to make an alliance with Semogerere, you remember? They said, hey, he's going to bring back Obote, and Buganda also turned. So we are done with first phase of hate, right? Now we are now having another phase of hate, which is being planted in Baganda.
In Baganda or the...
Yes, the Baganda had been conditioned to hate the Northerners. Now they are being conditioned to hate the Westerners, and specifically the Balaalo. If you go and carry out a survey, you will find a lot of celebration when these people are being hit.
And which is very unfortunate.
I haven't said that. Please, I'm very conscious. I'm extremely very conscious. But I see the way you talk, I see the way you behave. I now see a victim in you.
Yes.
And I'm seeing a victim in him.
Yes.
So I am struggling to show to you that you are a victim. But if you don't see it, perish, then from you there will be a seed that will save Uganda. If you are able to see it now, turn around and save Uganda. But if you are not able to see it, then perish under this scheme. Probably your great-grandchild will become conscious and fight and save this country. So, let me begin with him who is speaking for Acholi. We are the Acholi with Acholi. The Hutus, whom Mr. Kagame now calls FDR, when they lost the war, some of them walked up to Cameroon and died in the jungles of Congo. You have Acholis, your brothers and sisters, who are not even buried in Central Africa. You have your brothers, some of them were even taken as kids, who perished in Garamba. You will never see their graves. You get?
Right.
For you were lucky you were in a camp and you have lived to tell the story.
Whose responsibility was it?
Please, I haven't gone into it. It's war. And I've told you it was war which was built on hate.
Okay.
So you don't get out of that problem by fanning hate.
Against.
You get? Whether it is hate in revenge or otherwise, whether it's hate in retribution, you must reach certain stage and raise your consciousness. Now, but you see, there is what they call reverse psychology. You go and read the Rand Corporation Doctrine, I've told you about it before. The RAND Corporation. RAND, R-A-N-D. It is the consulting firm for the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Where there are two militant minorities, and you choose one, you must destroy the other. So, and the two militant communities you have are the Acholis, then the Bahima Pras, stroke Balaalo, Bahima stroke Batusi. Those words are deliberately chosen.
All right.
In our press, you can't have Obugabe in Ankwere. But you had mass mobilization of Igara against the Bahima stroke Balije. You get? The other ones felt that they were the victors. The Amanyamushega group, Kahingotafire group. You get? They felt they categorized.
The victors, yeah.
But the ones who had the gun again are the ones who you say lost. The ones who are supposed to have Obugabe, the Eritumuines, who were rejected, but they are the ones who have the gun. You get? And it all related on land. And as we speak right now, the ranch restructuring scheme dispossessed them of land.
The land.
I am not talking about these, because these ones I don't know them. But I know there is some indigenous Muhima, cattle keeper, pastoralist in the cattle corridor who was displaced of his land, dispossessed of his land. If he is the one in Acholi, I would tell him, please accommodate him. He's a victim. Are we together?
And we have been accommodated.
You don't know. But now...
You don't know that they've been there.
So now we go to the presidential directive in a second, and then I wind on that.
Yes.
There is reverse psychology. That's why you see there is a directive, and it is over-publicized. What is the objective? The objective is to portray Acholis as extremely very bad people. You get? Who hate the Balaalo and Bahima. And then show Balaalo, Bahima as victims of the hate of Acholis.
Intention. In the directive.
Yes, it's reverse. Because you need to mobilize the community that will subdue this group when their consciousness rises. It's reverse psychology. In other words, you make a Balaalo Muhima extremely very vulnerable so that he fights to the death to defend you. So in other words, there is preparation for a second phase of war. That's why when he's on TV, he's crying, I lost 500 cows. Eventually, he will not say, I lost... Yes, it is deliberate.
Yes.
I will not say, you will not say, I lost 500 cows because of Museveni's directive. No. He will say, I lost 500 cows because of the hate of the Acholi. So now his great-grandchild will easily be mobilized to fight the Acholi. So that's why you have very dangerous wars in perpetuity. Okay. So how would you end these wars?
Good question.
You go for truth, for truth,
and politics.
For truth. You go for truth.
Truth telling.
Yes. And then you reconcile. Yes. And then you heal.
Okay.
But apparently, it cannot be done through fraud.
All right.
You see, you don't deal, you don't reconcile with the vanquished, with the subdued.
So whom do you reconcile with?
The Acholis were beaten.
Yes.
You see, Mr. Museveni can talk to Mao. Is he talking to Balaalo too?
No.
He will talk to Ogenga Latigo, who is now part of land grabbing. How many square miles does Dr. Balaalo too have?
You're asking me?
Yes, you are from Acholi.
So let me ask you.
You see.
Why do you think he's a land grabber when you've not verified your facts?
And I'm saying, but I've been in Acholi. You don't get the consciousness of having more than a square kilometer of land.
For one person.
Yes, you see, why do I say that? Where, you know, our press, of course, now these days it's a bit difficult to get that land. But when our grandparents came to that place and it was still an empty piece of land, we would even invite others to come and we give them land. You wouldn't have a square kilometer of land to yourself with no neighbor.
All right.
You get land, then you call for your friend, we say, all the land the other end take. You see, there was no element where you have got culture, what you call customary land system. You wouldn't find someone with 100 acres, 200 acres. We would be calling for neighbors. You check how the Wachiga went to Bunyoro and what. You wouldn't find someone with a square kilometer of land. These are today's doctrines. And they are today's doctrines because of land grabbing, because of hunger and thirst for material. We were a community, and you know, in Acholi, they are really a community. They are really a community. The current breed of politicians, the likes of Batema was telling you about, is a breed of people who now think of having 5 square miles of land. It's an order of. Now, the authentic Balaalo does not go for land.
Okay.
The authentic Balaalo goes for pasture and goes for.
So what is Bariche doing?
What?
So
not a Balaalo.
Is not a
I'm a farming investor.
No, and you see,
Bariche, you're on this show to discuss Balaalo.
I'm not a Balaalo, but we are also those who are chased out of government to
was a victim from child.
He's a victim.
So that's why I'm saying don't mix the two.
Yes.
The authentic Balaalo will look for pasture and will look for water and will move on.
Not land.
There is no way, therefore there is no way it will be antagonizing with the local. The one who now does fencing and wants to own land in perpetuity is not a Balaalo. He is the one who has caused us problems in Western Uganda. He's the one who has caused the problems in Uganda. And now he has met a fairly conscious population, but which is not organized and it's still weak.
Okay, Charles, thank you very much. Would like to get to Dr. Bariche. I've given you even Doctor. Brother Rubanga can need Bariche. Please go ahead, yes.
Now, number one, let me clarify this.
Yes.
Number one, those who read history, my young brother, Engineer Lengo, some of their Acholis are thousands. You know, in some top official.
Not some, all the Acholis.
So when I say some of us, Tanzania and Rwanda, those were the times of before Uganda was formed. Some Acholis are rurals, actually. They claim Noya district belongs to them, you know. Some Acholis are Madis, you know. That's the upper quarrel, if you know. So when I say Sudan, I mean Tanzania, Rwanda, I mean that.
Okay.
And that's why you know where we converged, the engineer, my young brother, is that we promote peaceful coexistence, unity in diversity.
Yes.
And we push institutions using the culture institution, which is also divided, he knows. Some people from the Amur are fighting the culture institution, the official culture institution, because of a lot of divide and rule.
Maybe to make it clear, I don't think you have any moral authority.
No, but we know.
No. Are you funding the fight? Are you trying to tell me your group is funding?
Excuse me. Yes, no, I'm sorry. I don't want. Well, let's.
No, you're mixing things.
No. I'm saying.
You don't speak.
Excuse me. What I'm just saying is one, and I've been telling it to you.
So let's team up. Give it the respect it deserves. You don't speak for it.
I'm sorry. Let's team up as a culture institution. Let's team up with elders. Let's team up with government. Government, when I talk of government, I mean heads of government. I mean interreligious organizations. Council, I mean opinion leaders. We sort out the deep-seated. I'm happy that though he brought in some other issues, but he brought in deep-seated.
That they have.
Yeah, that's number one. Then some other clarification is one. Mr. Rumshana, how I wish you would teach you some cattle keeping, because animals can't be put in a bus.
No, it was another.
He said, so those who were in Burisa, by the way, to clarify it, came from Chivoga, Chankwanzi. No, they move. You find some grass.
I'm talking about the ones in Burisa who came from Tanzania.
Wait. I'm just giving you a narrative because there are things you know, there are things you don't know. Okay. Those who were in Burisa at that time, there are people who were nearby actually. Chivoga, because it's near Burisa, Chankwanzi, some parts of Mubende, and maybe Nakaseke. That's number one.
All right.
Number two, the Tanzania accusation, yes. When they said Tanzania accusation, because even the other day my brother, Honorable Olanya, they keep saying they came from Rwanda, they came from Tanzania. As far as the little I know, most of these are cattle keepers from the 47 districts that form a cattle corridor. Then number four is that when we are talking of land grabbing, what Womshana was talking about the other side,
yes.
The other time and even today, we are two different categories. When I go and rent or buy or lease,
yes.
100 acres, 200, 300, you will find we are not the same as those who play around, whether Acholi or non-Acholi. Actually, Acholi, if he is to be honest, he knows, and I will send you that piece, who play with the locals and all that.
Leaders to grab land.
Big thousands and thousands of
those are known.
You understand?
Even the culture institution knows some of those.
I think so, because he told me I shouldn't talk about it and I will respect it. But we've known thousands and thousands.
The fact that you stay there.
Surprisingly, these local agitators called the Land Owners Association of Acholi are people who are being used by the Balaalo in a disguised format to grab land. So if you are defending locals who claim to be
I've not talked. No. I've actually talked about elites. Let me clarify this. The landowners who are defending us, you understand, are not elites of Kampala. Of the examples.
Who are those landowners?
Landowners are these the communities down.
Who acknowledge that you either bought land or leased?
Thank you. Whom we approached, whom we were introduced to. By fellow Acholi say brokers. Wait a minute, let me clarify this. When we approached them, they presented family resolutions that they've agreed
to do what?
To sell, to rent, or to lease as a family. Then they called in the cultural representative. He's called Rotquer at the village level. Their culture institution is very strong. I admire it. Then they call in government, which is represented by LC1. You understand? Then we even call in the surveyor to survey. Every willing buyer, willing seller, or willing tenant, willing landlord.
So where does the challenge come?
Now,
where do they change? Where does
the other day I saw
Professor. I'm saying the one who does that is not a mrak.
The other day,
because
the other day I saw our elder Professor Latigo talking like my young brother here, that they are fraudsters, even though Dr. Mona said it. But in my heart of hearts, I kept wondering, Dr. Mona, I've never reached there, but I hear he has two farms, big in Amur and Onoya. I don't know how he got them.
So you're doing exactly... Listen. You're doing exactly what I earlier on said. Your interest is to attack leaders from Acholi.
No, I'm just giving... not attacking.
Give me an example of a leader you've mentioned in your context of argument from West Nile, from Lango. Because this is a directive for Northern Uganda, not Acholi. So stop...
Excuse me, my young brother.
Why are you trying
Don't be the same person I met in 2003,
I'm just trying to help you.
Who was too much biased. I thought no. You see, the whole problem, I'm happy he brought in the deep-seated issues to some extent. You understand? As I started, the problem of Balaalo is just being imported to Lango, to West Nile, you understand? But the truth of the matter, The problem is in Acholi sub-region.
Okay.
Let me just.
But what is the problem?
The problem is simple. The way you explained it. You said conditioned. I don't know, but
conditions to hate.
The way you explained it, it's political. They lost power to the Westerners. That's number one. He said it. War victims. He said it. They even tell me, my friends, they believe that Konye wasn't there. They say he was the creation of NRA. You understand?
And when they see you, you're that representative.
Actually, when they see us, as he said, so it's political loss with its effects.
How would you know the press?
You understand? Thank you. That's a very good praise.
Because the truth of the matter, people from Buganga and Bugambara, my home area, don't know that area.
No, how I wish we would call. How did we know?
Let me make a clarification.
Okay.
Because you see, he has made this mistake now the third time. You are our brother from another area.
Yes.
You've come to our area.
Thank you.
And this is what I've been calling arrogance. And the arrogance is both civic. When you do civic, you take people to court. You take even the cultural leadership to court, and you think you're big-headed. Then the other arrogance that I see, which you're also exhibiting now, is you think you have the moral authority to poke your nose into intra-land issues within Acholi. If, let's say, an elder in Acholi acquires land, they actually know how they handle their business. You don't understand our customs. You don't have any moral right to poke your nose into the business affairs of how Professor Ogeng acquired, how another person acquired. That is none of your business.
No, but
listen, respect your line that you've come and deal with your business as it is. Don't poke your nose in other things.
We have rights to inquire.
You have rights to inquire.
Did you come from Acholi?
I'm not intimidating anybody.
Did you come from Acholi?
I don't know what.
Did you come from Acholi?
He doesn't have the moral authority. You don't have a moral authority. You don't have the moral authority.
Did you come from Acholi?
Listen, my brother.
Listen.
You don't have the moral authority to question how intra-land issues are handled.
No, we have.
Because you don't understand the custom. Do you understand our custom?
Do you understand? By the time you are coming to Buganda, were you in Buganda?
Let me answer you. When I'm in Buganda, I am a tenant of the Kabaka. I must listen. You must respect the values of the Buganda kingdom.
So let me ask,
you don't come to my house and you ask for a seat. I am supposed to give you.
Have people sued the Kabaka of Buganda in court? Has it happened? Have you heard of cases where they sued?
Yes, they have.
Yes, those have happened, right? Have they received the backlash the way we've received in?
That's why I said these guys are exercising civic arrogance because they don't understand the customs of the Acholi people. In our tribe, in our area, it is an abomination of the highest order.
That's also correct.
It is correct. I'm speaking with authority. I'm speaking with authority because I understand the norms better than you.
How do you speak?
You were there. You were there as RDC.
In Pade.
Being RDC.
Do you know why you lost war?
Being RDC.
You know why you lost war?
No. You are not going back to the war.
Because you over-exaggerate yourself.
Listen. Being RDC.
Now you're ordering me.
I'm giving you information.
No, you're ordering me to listen.
Yes, please listen to me because I was making a point.
Elder.
No problem.
So now you listen.
Being RDC.
I'm now commanding you listen.
Not on this platform.
Now you see.
All right.
So you cannot say you are in culture.
Okay,
listen. Because when you are in culture, you get to this point. Now I'm an elder. With the board head, I'm asking you listen.
It's okay. I listen to you. I listen. An elder must also respect himself. Yes, simple. Let me make my point.
Okay, Engineer Tony, make your point.
Romoshana, you have been an RDC in Pade. That in every way does not make you understand all the norms of the Acholi people. Okay? You don't. I don't want to go to the cultural practices.
European history.
No, I don't want to go to cultural practices. They have not performed cultural rights on you as an Acholi person.
Engineer,
there are cultural rights that you must
let's hear from Charles.
No, you see, if you waged the war for 20 years in Rukunjiri, people would be displaced. And if the survivors came and they found an Acholi having fenced off half of Rukunjiri district, they would have a right to agitate.
Yes, they would be offended.
No, they would have a right to agitate. So he has a case. If someone comes to fence off their land, to fence off the land. By the way, you go and check with Professor Ogengara Tugo and Waguma Richard. We authored a document. I was representing government, Latigo was representing the politicians of northern Uganda, and Waguma Richard was representing the civil society. It was intergovernment, it was government, civil society, and politicians on the post-war recovery program. We authored a document sanctioned by the state.
And I appreciate you for the job.
So in other words, you have taken, and we are looking on how people would move from the IDPs to the periphery. The idea initially was, let us establish trading centers, like they will now have, because for us in Western Uganda, they are out of collapse. People have collapsed. That's why they are in trading centers. But here you would have land for commercial farming, and it would benefit the locals. So if you form the cooperative, you have land, and this one also came as a cattle keeper, and he pays for grass on a commercial basis. You get, it can be worked out. You get. I told you the other day, I looked after cows for pay in kind.
It was a true Murabi.
No, I don't take me into your things. Mine was tactical. Even now, there are people, you will buy your cows and your cows will stay. You will say, okay, I will take the milk. And we'll look after your cows. It is commerce, it is business. You can arrange with the community in Acholi. You go there, you graze, what was calling rent, etc. And you live harmoniously. But if you say you are in government, you have money, you go and grab. You are in government, you go and displace the population because they are weak. Then the politician is justified, who is defending the population, to come in and defend the population. Because that is easy. And to that extent, I support you. I've told you, these ones are not Balaalo.
So these ones have a plan to grab land.
They are doing it.
So they are
doing it. But fight them on that perimeter.
So, gentlemen,
on that parameter,
turn the tide.
Fight. If you are fighting for the vulnerable, for the vulnerable actually, because I also have a vulnerable Muchiga who has taken to drinking and has collapsed. That's why they made passed a law that you are not allowed as a head of a family to sell your land without the consent of your wife. Because people would sell land and would leave their families as institutes. The same can also be to the community. You need to have that formula. And unfortunately, it's not there now. Now that it is not there and you have got these grabbers, by the way, including the Aminas of this world, you're going to establish a sugar estate. They are destroying forests in Bunyoro. You remember this forest, the Mavera here. You need a deeper conversation, but that conversation don't allow for the reverse psychology of Mr. Museveni, where he brings you into conflict with an Indian. In other words, if you are looking at Mavera, don't look at Mavera, between the sugarcane and an Indian. No, look at deforestation.
That is why
so
this
now
issue,
in Acholi,
this issue is not between the Acholi and the Balaalo.
Absolutely.
This issue is between the government and the Balaalo, not us.
No. The issue should be.
Yes.
The issue should be. You, whatever you want to call yourselves.
We are not the one who issued the order.
So you're taking yourself up.
We are not part of it.
As you quickly, because
I am lending you support, and I can withdraw it very quickly. Because I want us to redefine the themes and then wage war as a country, as a nation. Because the vice which is going to destroy you has already destroyed us. My kins are displaced into slums of Kawempe. You get, because of the same displacement having been brought by the disparities in the economy, the widening of income. Some have access to corruption, billions and billions of money, and they are therefore using it to displace the others. So now it's coming there. If you are putting up resistance, be conscious, so that we now make a national movement against a land grabber. not against the dispossessed Muhima Mularo who has nowhere to graze cows and has come to your place as a refugee.
Right.
That one is a refugee in his own country. Yeah. Give him accommodation, feed his cows. But let's aim at the land grabber.
All right. Thank you, Charles. Bariche has given you.
I know you belong to you. Look
no, excuse me. That's why you look. That's why he look.
When you told me I don't have the farmer what I said.
Gentlemen, can I hear from engineer, because this question is also part of, and you'll also answer some of this. I know that you have points there. It says, what is going to be done to those who have intermarried for over 10 years now and are also landowners today? Engineer Tommy,
they go with their wives.
You've intermarried. Are you going to chase those ones also, and that whole group, because you've been there forever?
It's very simple. It's very simple. Intermarriages are very good. Even me, I'm waiting for Barije to give me a beautiful girl from his area. He has refused.
He
has been hesitant. I've been telling him about
this. Lying.
But you see, most importantly, that should not be a worry, because you know, Barije.
But it's a fear.
No, it's not a fear. It's just you see, I saw that young lady speaking on TV. But you see, these land grabbers, as Romoshan has called them, are very smart, cunning people. Okay. You'll be shocked that even that young lady has not given birth with any of the people that she's claiming. So that is a non-starter issue. But the most important thing is, listen,
I know
the husband. That's okay.
The husband died.
No problem. But you see, if Bariche is coming, let's say from Chankwanzi, he has a home in Chankwanzi. Definitely, the wife can go there. Me, I can pick a wife from central Uganda and take to my home. The girl, if you're married in African tradition, you don't stay. You don't stay at the husband's. At the girl's home. Okay. You go home. You go to your. So it's very simple. The ones who are married, if you want to move with your husband, you move with your husband. Okay. That is how it is culturally done.
We need solutions to this, because you can't
it's okay. I was still making a point.
Okay. Then we shall have Bariche. Bariche will have the last one.
The issues are very simple, like I've said. The Balaalo, or the land grabbers, as you've said, that is your wife, in quotes. The Balaalo, let's just address the concern as the Balaalo, need to understand some dynamics of how societies play. They needed to have understood why in every area they settle, they are being pushed away. They are being pushed away. It means that the problem does not entirely fall on the host. The biggest, over 98% of the problem, they are the ones. And I have guided him several times. He keeps defending what is wrong. If he had taken actions into the advice we'd given them some time back, they would have made some progress. But up to now, he's here in the media, running from one platform to another, trying to defend what is not defendable. 2, if you come to an area, respect the values and the norms of that area. That can be an advice for them. But also, I wanted to make some point clear here, that these guys, when they were moving to the north, of course, Romoshan has tried to give distinctions of the different groups that have been there. But you see, in the north, the land tenure system is clear. And they say ignorance of the law is no defense. And if you have acquired the land wrongfully or illegally, I think the verification committee will do its job.
No, then you go to court.
So
you don't go to the president.
Yes, it's okay. So you'll wait for the verification committee to do its job, okay? But the customary land principle of 2008 clearly states that land is not for sale and should not be lost. And I want to tell you clearly that I believe the president morally knows the Balaalo, and he knows their character. Somebody here, Bariche, my brother, mentioned that the president is a chief Mulalo. So for the chief Mulalo to call your group arrogant, you saw the president's communication, the last tweet he made about the Balaalo, when he was trying to respond to Andrew Mwenda. He said these are arrogant group of people. This is the president. So if our president...
I don't buy into it.
If our president, no, I'm not saying I'm buying into it, but he's describing his people. He's describing people he knows. What did you say? You said they're part of him. Not
that you are now falling into the trap of
No, it's okay. You know yourselves better. No, you know yourselves better.
So conclude, engineer, then we'll have Daniel.
You know yourselves better. What is more important is that we think that before they start asking for the question of unity in diversity, which we have been embraced. As actually we have embraced it fully. I think Bariche loves to stay in the north, which I will encourage him to do, because it is a good place and he knows it. People are very hospitable there. But the hostility that is coming now is because of the provocation. You allow your cattle to trample over my crops, and you don't compensate me. You're wielding AK-47. When I talk, the balance of power is not there. But Richard, don't look at me as if I'm saying things that are not true. Let me make my point. No, let me drive it. Let me drive it. Because I made mention to the meeting where the Balaalo was in Morocco, and Bariche was close to me, and I clearly told them, stop parading your guns to intimidate the people. And I made it clear, the RDC was there. And I told the RDC, some of these guys are moving with guns. I showed him the videos. You were there. Don't start looking like I'm speaking from a different perspective. Number two, number two, we are from war, we are traumatized. We are from war, we are traumatized. Number two, promotion. Not everyone. Listen, I'm trying to conclude, but they're interrupting me, so you protect me. Protect me to conclude.
Can you say your final, because we have about 5 minutes.
Yes.
So can you say your last word, then we'll have Daniel say.
Yeah, my last words are this, okay? That
word. Not word.
Okay, word.
Whatever the case, Romoshana thinks we are for a battle here. But you see, the most important thing that needs to be done now is this. There should be a very honest conversation from both communities, okay? Into exactly what went wrong. But I've tried to point out a number of the things that went wrong. And as a country, we must accept that the executive authority of the president that he has exerted, we should allow it. We allow the process to go on as it is. Ensure that the verification committee comes to do its verification. I have had concerns of some of the Balaalo saying, where do we take our cattle? I think for the meantime, government could open some of the ranches for them to come in as part of the solution. The verification committee listens to these grievances from both ends, okay? And then the verification committee gives its recommendations to the president. But what I think they should include is, number one, the Balaalo who could have gotten land illegally should be documented properly and compensated. Government can allocate funds to compensate the Balaalo so that they also don't get victimized. And then, most importantly, our country, Uganda, should definitely seek the argument and the submissions of Honorable Mao that we must embrace a program of truth-telling, a program of national reconciliation. And this must be a very honest conversation because the anger in the public, this is not now for the North only, the anger in the public, be it Central, West, North, the divide is too much, the anger in the public is too high, that we are on a fastly ticking time bomb. That anytime Uganda will blow. So we must have this conversation.
Thank you. Now, Daniel, you have the last word.
To me, I'm even happy that my big brother Romushana wrote something, worked on something with Professor and somebody.
So Daniel, are you people going to leave? Are you people going to stay? What's next?
First of all, I'm sorry, my young brother, you became unfair to me. I don't run to media for, I inform the public to know the truth. And a lot has come out, including that's number one. Number two, instead of answering that, the solution is one. Tomorrow, if we could even accept, this is what I requested, Honorable Olanya. I know the President and the Chief Justice, hopefully the Right Honorable Speaker, will be in Agago. I've had some information. I don't know. There is some activity at the Chief Justice home. I think I'm happy. Kindly lead us. Kindly lead us.
But I've guided you. I'm coming. Before you go for justice.
Wait.
Go and deal with the grievances.
Engineer,
let's have a genuine discussion, because when
you cannot expect the actual people to host you in a cargo when the paramount chief is agreed.
Excuse me. You talked, I kept quiet. Excuse me.
You're telling me to go for You're telling us to go for justice. You're telling me you want to go for reconciliation.
So I keep quiet.
Keep quiet. You cannot go for reconciliation.
Wait.
You cannot reconcile when you are talking.
Your point. Let him finish.
Don't appease the camera, please.
Let him finish.
No.
I am talking to you.
Because you know I've been talking to you.
But
You
I was
know my
guiding you.
views.
I was
No.
guiding you.
Daniel,
The truth of the matter.
You say your point.
The head of state, he will be there. I'm happy that you know. Me, I'm just saying, actually, maybe I should read. Can we jointly maybe write to the State House Judiciary, write Parliament, Inter-Religious Council, actual opinion leaders, and all stakeholders? Wait.
You want
So that we look for
stakeholders.
what exactly we are agreeing on. Truth, national reconciliation, because for us, we are just victims. That's number one. Number two, we are there. You know what I've been telling you. Let's team up to utilize land to chase away poverty, to create wealth. We can even be partners. Land utilization through partnership. Number three, let's even team up and fight land grabbing, what Charles Romshan is talking about. Wait a minute, don't be biased. Land grabbers, irrespective of their tribe. Wait. Because they are land grabbers.
Wait. Museveni has.
But you utilize
that's nomadism.
You
cannot have 10 square miles of land.
You utilize your time, and I kept quiet.
Daniel, I'd like to say the last one.
We don't have, we respect the norms, and you know it that the cultural kingdom, we respect it. We have no problem. Kindly lead the...
Respect is not told on TV, it must be done on practice.
But we've been.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much, Engineer Tony. Thank you very much, Charles. The last message here, coming in from Innocent Owinyi Kidega, who says, Charles makes very good points. There is no way Acholi can accommodate the Balaalo when truth, reconciliation, and compensation has not taken place. It is like loving a killer. That's too much demand. But I do thank my panelists. Thank you very much, Charles. Thank you, Tony. And thank you, Daniel. And also the viewers. And as it is here, we need to pray. Lord, we thank you because you are the one who brings reconciliation. It's you who helps us deal with issues in the heart. Father, we pray that you will lead and guide all the leaders in this situation and find an amicable solution to the confusion in the north, the West Nile, in northeastern region. And also, these are all your children. You love everyone and you care about everyone. May there be reconciliation. May there be forgiveness. May we live amicably in our communities. Even as we disperse, protect us, keep us safe, and may your blessing be upon us. We thank you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. A big thank you to our viewers, and may God bless you. Have a good evening.
The truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics